Hello everybody, welcome to our class Passionate Learners. Today in our class we're going to discuss about social process, which is a part of sociology of education. It is important for people who are pursuing their B.Ed and even M.Ed, and it is also important for people who are aspiring for UGC NET in education. So let us get into the topic. In this topic we're gonna cover different kind of things. So social process and its classification, that is associative and dissociative, and in associative it is again cooperation, accommodation, assimilation and acculturation, and in the dissociative process it is competition and conflict. So social process. What is social process? It is the form of social interaction which occurs repeatedly. And this definition, according to Ginsberg, is that social process means the various modes of interaction between individuals or groups, including cooperation and conflict, differentiation and integration. So Ginsberg means that if there is an interaction between two people, two individuals, it may be a positive interaction or the negative interaction. The positive interaction include cooperation and assimilation, accommodation, etc. And the negative kind of social processes are differentiation, conflict, etc. Whatever the interaction may be, if there is interaction occurring between two individuals repeatedly, then it is known as social process. So the types of social process here are conjunctive and disjunctive. Conjunctive is nothing but a positive kind of social process, and disjunctive is negative kind of social process. So now what happens in this conjunctive or associative process? It is again classified into cooperation, accommodation and assimilation. There is also acculturation. And the next thing in the negative process, it is competition and conflict. So let us discuss about each and every concept in detail. So what is cooperation? It is a form of social process in which two or more individuals work together to achieve a common goal. It is very simple. If two individuals working together to achieve a common goal, then it is known as cooperation. So it is a Latin word actually. Here the word is divided into two parts. The first part is the co and the second part is the operation. Co means together, operation means to work. So in all together it is means to work together. And the characteristics here are, it is a conscious process, it is a universal process, and it is a personal process. Next thing is types of cooperation. So what are the types of cooperation? Direct cooperation and also indirect cooperation. Then what is this direct cooperation? It includes all those activities in which people do like things together. If two people performing same activity to achieve a common goal, then it is nothing but a direct cooperation. Example, playing together, working together, and a cooperation between husband and wife. So this is a sort of direct cooperation examples. And now getting into the indirect cooperation. What is it? It includes those activities where people do unlike tasks together towards a common end. To achieve a common goal, people who pursue different kinds of jobs work together. So here there is an example. The carpenters, plumbers and masons work together to build a house. So these are the different kind of people who perform their different jobs, but they are working for a common goal, which is nothing but constructing a building or a house. So this is nothing but indirect cooperation. Next thing is the accommodation, which is again a positive part of social process. So let us look into its meaning. It means social adjustment. It is the achievement of adjustment between the people that permits harmonious acting together in a social situation. So it is nothing but social adjustment. Accommodation is a social adjustment. So Ogburn and Imhoff had given At definition, so let us look into this definition. Accommodation is a term used by sociologists to describe the adjustment of hostile individuals or groups. So different people who have different kind of minds, means unlike people working together. Working together here is nothing but the social adjustment. So this is what is accommodation. And its characteristics are, it's a universal activity. It may occur anywhere and everywhere. It is a continuous process. So let us take an example as a job. So in a job, two different people, unlike people who are from different backgrounds, unlike people work together, which is nothing but the social adjustment. So it is a continuous process, and it is the end result of conflict. So it is the end result of conflict means people cannot quarrel all the time. So there need to be an end for the conflict. So adjusting is one of the end result of this conflict. So that is why accommodation is the end result of conflict. The next thing is, it is both an unconscious and unconscious process. So conscious process means people adjust to the situation knowingly. An unconscious process is, if we take into consideration a small baby gets adjusted to the society, which is nothing but unconscious process. Okay. And next is the types of accommodation. The types of accommodation are admission of one's defeat. It's a kind of compromise, and compromise, we all know that. And the next thing is arbitration. Arbitration means the third person coming into the two people who are quarreling and resolving the issue. And the next thing is the toleration. Toleration means existing of many religious groups in a society. So people here are adjusting. This is what is accommodation. And the next thing is assimilation, which is also a positive part of the social process. It is a social process in which individuals belonging to different cultures are united into one. So if the people coming from different cultural background are adjusting in a single place, then it is known as a assimilation. Ogburn and Nimkov gave a definition here. It is a social process where individuals or groups once dissimilar become similar, that it becomes identified in the interests and outlook. See, these people are unlike before, but they wanted to live together. So that's why they made few adjustments. What is the adjustment over here? It is a cultural adjustment. Earlier, it was a social adjustment. Social adjustment is in accommodation, and cultural adjustment is in assimilation. And acculturation, this is also a positive part of the social process. It is the name given to the stage when the cultural group which is in contact with another borrows from its certain cultural elements and incorporates them into its own culture. So a particular kind of people, if they borrow their cultural aspects from another kind of people, then it is known as acculturation, and own it. They also own those cultural aspects. Then it becomes a acculturation. So up till now, the positive aspects of social process are done, and we are going towards a negative process, negative things of social process, so which is known as dissociative process. It leads to the negative results. It results in the disintegration of the society. Example, competition and conflict. These are the negative parts of the social process. What is competition? The definition given by Ogburn and Nimkov is, it occurs when the demand is more than supply. The perfect example given over here is less jobs and more people in our society. It obviously leads to the competition. The characteristics are, it is universal. It may occur anywhere and everywhere. And the next thing is, it is an unconscious activity. Yes, sometimes we may not know the people with whom we are competing. So that is why it is known as an unconscious activity. And the types of competition over here are, the competition may be in the economic aspect, cultural aspect, social aspect, racial aspect, and even the political aspect. And next, coming to types of competition, it is again the positive and the negative. Sometimes competition may do good. Sometimes it also may does bad thing. So this is what is discussed over here. What is the positive aspect of this competition? It assigns the right individual to the proper place. Yes. And next thing is source of motivation. The third thing is conducive to progress. It leads to progress. Yes. And coming to the negative aspects of the competition. So it leads to frustration, it leads to monopoly, and it leads to conflict. So the next thing is the conflict. It is also a negative part of the social process. It is one of the dissociative process. Conflict arises when the attention of the competitor is diverted from the object of the competition to themselves. So what it actually means is that if the competition is taken somewhat personally, if it involves the individuals personally, then it is nothing but a conflict. So A.W. Green gave a definition. What is it? Conflict is the deliberate attempt to oppose, resist the will of another or others. Means there is some negativity between the two people. Means there is no social adjustment. There is no any kind of adjustment. So that's how the conflict occurs. And what are its characteristics? It's a universal process. It's a personal activity. Yes, obviously when people take it very personally, only conflict occurs. It is a conscious activity. It is intermittent process. Intermittent process means there is no continuity for this process, because a conflict cannot occur all the time. There are few moments when where they can be suppressed. So this is what is nothing but an intermittent process. And types of conflict include war. We all know what is war. Feud is nothing but a kind of quarrel. Litigation means if we proceed legally, then it is known as litigation. And conflict of impersonal ideas. So I can give you an example over here. Capitalist and communist. So here the people, there is no conflict between individuals, but there is a conflict between groups. So this is nothing but conflict of impersonal ideas. I hope I'm clear with the topic social process. So if you like the video, please do like, share, subscribe and comment to Passionate Learners. Thank you so much.